Have you ever updated the WordPress login and suddenly your website stopped working? Maybe you saw a blank white screen, your contact form stopped submitting, or your site become painfully slow. If you have experienced any of these problems I listed, don't worry, you are not alone. In this video, I will walk you through 5 most common WordPress plugin errors. I will explain why they happen and show you practical way of fixing them. So by the end of this video, you will know how to troubleshoot plugins issue with confidence and prevent them from happening again. Without no further ado, let us get it started. So one of the most common error you can ever encounter in WordPress is plugin conflicts. The most common WordPress plugin error is the word plugin conflict. So this happens when two or more plugins try to do the same job or modify the same part of your website, and as a result of that, features may stop working, pages may break, or you might even start seeing unexpected errors. So for example, if you are installing two cache plugin or two security plugin of the same type, you can easily create conflicts. So because of that, both are trying to control the same system, and don't worry, I will show you how to fix this. So and I will tell you how to fix this. So the way you can fix it, the easiest method is very simple. You don't what deactivate all your plugin. So once you deactivate all your plugin, then activate them one at a time, right? So activate them one at a time. So by the time you come down to activate them one at a time, you can easily figure out that, oh, I have two identical plugin here, right? So after each activation, check if the problem comes back. So once it does, you have find the plugin causing the conflict. So anytime you're having a plugin conflict error, deactivate all your plugins. So right, once you're able to deactivate all your plugin and reactivate them one at a time, activate one, run your website, activate the second one, run your website, do that simultaneously, right? So once you have done that, you have found the plugin causing the conflict. So to avoid this in the future, only install plugin from trusted developers. Don't install plugin from the website you did not know, because it can serve what you want. No, just calm down. Install it from trusted developer and avoid plugin with duplicates functionality, right? And always test new plugin on a staging site before installing them on your live websites. I mean, before you can test the plugin, test it on your on your staging site, which is the site know that you're not the one you're not using for production, right? So you must have, like, let me call it a draft site. You get for testing some things and the rest. So even though what's it called, the attacker was able to attack your draft site, at least you figure it out from there, right? So always test your plugin on a staging site rather than installing them on your live website for production. So the second error you can encounter in WordPress is white screen of death. I know that sounds crazy, right? But just calm down. White screen of death, right? So the next error is one of the most the next error is one that scares almost every WordPress developer, right? So imagine the word white screen of death. Won't you feel like, what does white screen of death means? Just calm down. I will explain for you. So it is called white screen of death, or WSOD. So if you hear the word WSOD, I know that sounds interesting, right? But the word white screen of death is kind of somehow, but just calm down, I will explain. So instead of your instead of your website loading normally, all you see is a completely blank page. I've encountered this error one time whereby I was trying to install a plugin. So I already have the plugin, so I modified the plugin. I tried to change some functionalities that the plugin can do. I extended the limits of the plugin, right? So once I did that, and I went into my website, I tried to refresh the page. I saw a blank page there. So that is white screen of death. But don't worry, I will tell you how to fix it, your approach in fixing it, and a lot of that, right? So instead of website should load normally, all you see is the words completely white and completely black white page. So this usually happens because a plugin triggers a fatal PHP error, exceed your server memory limits, or isn't compatible with your theme. You get, so if the plugin you're using is not compatible with your screen, this WSOD rewards it will occur. Are we going to call it wizard, well, anything you call it, it is your trace, right? So WSOD, white screen of death. So I will repeat myself one more time. This WSOD error basically occur when a plugin trigger a fatal PHP error or exceed your server memory limits or isn't compatible with your team, right? So here are the ways you can fix WSOD, which is known as white screen of death. So if you can still access, okay, I'll break it down like this. If you can still access your website, your WordPress dashboard, okay, if you can still have access to your WordPress dashboard while maybe your website is blank, okay, so one of the way you can do it is deactivate the plugin you recently installed or updated, right? So in fact, the perfect and best approach you can ever do in solving any WordPress errors, deactivating all plugins. So once you can deactivate all plugins and you're able to reactivate them back, it will be more easier for you to figure out the website, the plugin that is giving you that particular issue. Because imagine you have an e-commerce website now and you're using about 100 plugins for that website. Now, are you telling me that you can just guess the plugin giving you the issue? I understand the time you take to activate them one by one, you get, but at least there is high probability that the error can come from one plugin, right? So that is one of the way you can do it. And okay, let me say at times if maybe you can't access your dashboard, so one of the way you can do it is open your hosting files or connect through FTP, right? So open your hosting file manager or connect through FTP. So navigate to WordPress WP-contents or plugin. Just navigate to your plugin folder. So once you can navigate to your plugin folder and rename the plugin folder that is causing the issue, okay, and remember there's no way you can actually what is it called, there's no way you can actually know the error, right? You can actually know the perfect plugin giving you the issue, right? So one of the way you can do it is, if you cannot access your WordPress dashboard, so what you can basically do is rename the plugin folder. Your plugin folder is plugins, right? So if you can rename it and remove the s, that will be plugin. Your WordPress will be expecting plugin instead of, if it is expecting plugins instead of plugin. So if you can remove that s from it, from there you can at least access the what is it called access your what is it called your you can still access your WordPress dashboard, right? So once you can do that, you can now start to figure out, okay, what are the issues I'm having. Let me say you can now start to figure out what are the issues you are having, right? So navigate to your plugin folder and rename the plugin folder that is causing the issue. So, and this approach basically disable the plugin, right? So you should also enable, and one of the things you can also do is you should also enable WordPress debugging using WP_debug, right, to review the exact PHP error. So, and sometimes increasing your PHP memory limits or switching temporarily to a default WordPress plugin can also solve the problem, right? So that is the approach in fixing it. So the third one on the list, we have plugin updates compatibility issues. So updating plugin is one of the is important because updates include new features, bug fixes, and security patches. But sometimes an update can actually break your website. I know you might actually be wondering why, how, because I'm saying this thing because the updated plugin may not be compatible with your current WordPress version, right? So that actually affects at times. And me personally, I've experienced that issue, and I have some people that have also experienced that issue. So most developer, you can experience the issue, but if you can watch this video to the end, you will have deep knowledge, deep understanding on how you can encounter or different approach of solving errors in WordPress, right? Solving error in WordPress. So okay, let me now explain what I mean by maybe updated plugin can also cause WordPress issue. Okay, so imagine you're using a WordPress version, a low old WordPress version, and you updated a plugin, right? You updated the plugin that is not even compatible, like that is even more higher than what the WordPress can even handle, right? So what you don't need to do is you need to expect an error. Like, I mean, expect an error, please. Expect an error, because that WordPress is like, I don't know you now. You are far beyond me. So how will I be managing you? Like, how will be worker be managing the owner of the? How will worker be managing the CEO? It is impossible, right? So you get, so if you know that you cannot update your WordPress website, like you cannot update your WordPress version, don't bother updating your plugin, right? So one of the proper way you can do it is, the first thing you must do it, the first approach you must do as a WordPress developer is update your WordPress. After updating your WordPress, then you can now move ahead to what? Update your plugins, right? So I don't want to know, because a developer cannot do a plugin that is more higher than what the WordPress version can carry, right? So what you need to do is make sure your WordPress version is what? Up to date. If it is up to date, you are free what? You are free to go. So, and let me tell you something that will even shock you. You know, professional developer rarely updates plugins directly on a live website. Instead, they first test updates on a staging site. I've said this before and I will keep saying it again. You need to what? Test the updates on the staging site. So before updating any plugin, always create a backup. That's the second thing. Create a backup. Test the plugin on the staging site. Create a backup. I mean, back up your WordPress website entirely, because you can install a plugin and start having issues. And because you did not back up, you wish you can undo it, but it's not possible to undo, right? But that backup you create can also give you higher chances over that error, right? So, and next thing you need to do that most developers don't do is read the plugin charger log. So read the plugin charger log to see what's new, right? So, and also make your hosting environment meet the plugin minimum requirements. Make your, that means, don't just see a random plugin and just feel like, this plugin is cool now, let me install it. No, they don't do things like that, right? So, and make sure your what? Hosting environment meets the plugins minimum requirements. So this step can save you hours of troubleshooting later, right? So, and the next one we have on the list is Ajax errors. Ajax errors. So many modern WordPress plugins rely on Ajax. Rely on what? Ajax. So Ajax basically allow action to happen without refreshing the page, right? So it is used in contacts from shopping carts, booking system, search filter, and many other interactive features. So when Ajax should fail, you usually notice endless loading icon, button that don't respond, or form that never submits. I will explain this thing very very well. Imagine you have a user wants to submit a data on your website. They want to submit a data on your website, like, okay, tell them to submit a form for people to register for a job, right? So, and the moment they click submit, they just see an icon just keep loading. You know, you feel suspicious that what is happening? Why is my website? Why is the website keep loading? You get, so that is an Ajax error. So whenever you encounter an error and you notice everything just keep loading non-stop, have it at the back of your mind that that is what? Ajax error. So I will say it again. When Ajax fail, you usually notice endless loading icons, buttons that never respond, or form that never submit. So here is what you can check. One of the approach you can use in solving troubleshooting Ajax error is clear your browser cache, right? Clear your browser cache, right? So clear your browser cache. That's one. And the second thing is not, that's not all. Clear your website cache. I've mentioned two. And the third one is temporarily disable cache plugin. I mean, don't delete the plugin. As I mentioned the word temporarily. So temporarily just disable your cache plugin. So open your browser developer tool and check console for JavaScript error, right? So open like in fact, if you should have any error anyway, just do inspect. Once you can inspect, go to console and you will see the error that pop up like what? Popcorn. So, and also verify the admin ajax.php. Okay, so also verify that admin ajax.php that isn't being blocked by your hosting firewall. So if the problem started after installing Another plugin, test the conflicts by disabling plugin one by one. So that is a way you can, that is one of the way you can that's one of the approach you can do in fixing Ajax error. So, and the fifth one on the list, so moving to the next one, which is the last one on the list, we have slow website performance. You need to have this at the back of your mind that not every plugin is built with performance in mind. Some plugin load unnecessary JavaScript and CSS files. Other makes too many database requests or consume excessive server resources. As you install more plugin, the website become more slower and slower. And a slow website affects user experience, reduce conversion, and can even hurt your Google ranking. So here's the ways you can improve slow website performance. So the thing you need to do is remove plugin you no longer use. Any irrelevant plugin you feel like you have on your website, just remove them. Don't even give them chance. Remove it. The second thing you need to do is replace heavy plugins with lightweight alternative. So if you have a plugin that is too powerful, like I know I understand this is too powerful, but if it's too heavy, replace it with a lightweight alternative, right? So, and the third one you can do is enable caching. So enable caching, and the next one you can do is optimize your database regularly. So optimize your database regularly and keep your plugins updated. Remember the rules I told you about. If your WordPress plugin is not updated to the your WordPress website is not updated to the latest version, don't bother updating your plugin. So you must make sure that your WordPress is updated to the latest version before you can update any plugin. That is how professional developer do, right? So, and next thing you can do is choose a reliable hosting with enough server resources, right? So, I cannot recommend some. Well, if I should recommend some for you, I would just rather choose something like Go Hosting or Hostinger, right? So, this is not a partner video. I'm just giving you based on my perspective of seeing this, right? So, and remember, installing fewer high quality plugin is usually much better than installing dozens of average ones. So here we are, bonus tips for this video. There are a few habits that you can prevent most WordPress plugin problem. So and I wish you can so bonus tips, here are a few habits that you can use to prevent most WordPress plugin problems before they even happen. So the first one is, you need to do this one. It's very, very compulsory. Most developer keep their eyes off. They feel like it's not really, really important now. If I have visual, I can solve it myself. But there will be an error you have that you'll be wishing that I wish I should have backed this up. I mean, you'll be wishing, right? So, and for you not to be in that problem, you have to always back up your website before making changes. Back up your website. Back it up. I keep repeating it. Back your website before making any changes. And second thing is, keep WordPress, your plugin and your theme updated. Remember the rules. Update WordPress version to the highest before updating your plugin, right? So, and the next one on the list is download plugins only from trusted developers or official WordPress plugin directory. Don't go and download plugin that an attackers want you to attack your website or your database, right? To use a trusted plugin. And one of the way you can also do it is to verify if a plugin is working or not. You can just the name of the plugin and what it is working for. Just search it on Google or search it on YouTube. Check people reviews about the plugin before you can start to use it. And let me say, yes, finally you wish you should use the plugin. And okay, now it is time to use the plugin. Use the plugin on a staging site, like on a draft sites, like before a website you do use before production, right? So use website on a staging site before you can put it on your live web site. And next one you can avoid, next tip I have for us is avoid installing multiple plugins that perform the same tasks. If you should have plugin that is working for cache, you have about like 3 type of plugin that's working for cache, you basically have an error or an issue, right? So, and I hope it is not the white screen of death error you have, because it's kind of still funny, right? So don't install plugin of the same type, right? So avoid installing multiple plugins that perform the same task. And whenever possible, test new plugins on a staging site. I said it before using them on your live website. So these are the simple practices you can use to prevent many common WordPress issues. Alright everyone, so that's basically the 5 most common WordPress error you can ever encounter as a WordPress developer. And you need to know that WordPress plugin errors can seem overwhelming at first, but most of them have simple solutions. So once you can understand what causes the problem, you can easily fix or troubleshoot that thing to success, right? So and whenever it's a plugin conflict, the white screen of death, the WSOD, or update compatibility issue, Ajax errors, or performing performance problem, right? So following the right troubleshooting steps can get your website back online quickly. And if this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other WordPress user, or WordPress developer, who might find this helpful. And also let me know in the comments which WordPress plugin error have you experienced, and whether you managed to fix it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.